Okay, so I've got these Dan Dan noodles. Tastes pretty good. Today was the last day of training. And it took place at Hartwell 30. We created a working agreement for how our RISE training would be operated using 3 sections: safe and comfortable, the third one being things to keep in mind, and the second one being things basically should not become an issue or a problem. We were each given 1 sticky note for each section. For the second section, I wrote interrupting, because interrupting should not become an issue or a problem. For the third section, things to keep in mind. I'm not really sure what I wrote down for that third section, but I wrote something down for each section. What we wrote down on the sticky notes were then transferred via marker. They were put on the sections made out of white paper, removed from the white paper via one of the facilitators, and then written on with a blue marker. Around the room were labels that corresponded to different identities. Earlier I had gotten this ID activated, or had at least tried to. I believe it still doesn't work, but it should soon. We started with an icebreaker. For it, I said my name is Tyler James Mackey. I'm a double major in criminal justice and political science. I'm from the town of Greece. I'm a senator of the Brockport student government, and had run for president in both a general election and a special election. And that's basically what I said for the icebreaker. And everyone else in our group formed via desk around a circle answered similarly. Because the icebreaker was to give a formulated response like that, or similar to that. Your name, what you're studying, where you're from, and how you're involved with the Brockport student government. We took a Briggs-Myers short version personality test. I believe I tried to answer the 20 questions as honestly as possible. It was in a format where if you answer certain questions, A, you would put it in the first section, B, the second section. Excuse me. The first letter corresponded to the first question. The second question corresponded to the second score of the personality test. The third question to the third score. The fourth question to the fourth score. The fifth question to the first score. And that pattern continued from what I remember. I got E for the first score and a J for the last. E for extroverts, J for, I believe, judging. I believe the first score wasn't. I believe the second score was an N, and as for the third one, well, I'll have to look back on the copy of the personality test for that. After lunch, which involved basically build your own taco sort of bar with cookies for dessert. And we sat in the Union Ballroom for it. And we heard some keynote speakers speak briefly. We went to Hartwell 30 again. Stood in various parts of the room to answer questions such as which identity most influence you as a student, those sort of questions, with standing in different areas of the room corresponding to different values. And I answered family structure. Oh wait, that's my answer for the one I think about the least. I went to the other identity section for the impacts you the most as a student question. That other identity I chose as my principles, values, ideals, that sort of thing. My progressive political values and an ingrained value of service. Oh, hello.
You're here? Oh, you're here? How'd you get here?
Dad took me home
When?
pretty much very recently.
When?
When I finished with my last day of training for BSG.
When did it end?
Around 4, and he picked me up around 5.
No.
Excuse me.